As Lynn mentioned, it's been snowing in the Sierra, and it's bound to be a very popular place this weekend. KCRA 3's Kristen Simoes has been driving up the hill this morning and joins us live now from along Interstate 80 in Placer County. And Kristen, how are the conditions?
Well, snowy. You know, for a lot of people, this is the start of spring break for a lot of students, but it feels more like winter. It looks like December here. Driving up the hill, it was actually pretty nice. We've got some video for you of the drive up here. We didn't hit snow until really just a couple miles back. We're at Nyack right now, near Blue Canyon. So it was a nice drive up. Not a whole lot of traffic on the road until we got up to this point where, of course, chain controls are in effect. So we're seeing a lot of people pulling over. But like I said, this for a lot of students is the beginning of spring break. So I know a lot of people are heading out of town this weekend, planning to spend the next week or so, in many cases skiing, whereas in the past they might have been more likely to want to get the boats out on the lake. This time they're going skiing, and we've talked to people already this morning who are heading up the hill, really excited about this latest snow. You can see we've got some people installing chains up here. We've got our friends from the Bay Area, Nathaniel and Jonathan here, driving up from the Bay to, hey guys,
hey.
I know you're right in the middle of chain installation. I have never seen people so happy about having to put on chains.
Wouldn't be the happiest, but it's the end game. We're going to end up at the resort.
It means to an end,
yeah,
so it's not that bad. It's only like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So what is the plan? You're skiing today, obviously.
Yes, we're going to go ski Squaw, and so just hopefully get some good turns.
Okay, can you believe you're skiing now and talking about skiing still for months?
I'm a believer.
It's only April. I mean, I grew up in Montana, so we have snow a lot longer. And we're up in the mountains here. So I mean, in like the Bay, it's basically summer all the time.
So is this feeling like Montana?
Somewhat, yeah.
Wow, okay, well, I think it's kind of looking like it. Thanks, guys. Good luck with all of that. And we also have a graphic that shows some of the ski resorts and their plan for staying open later this season. Some of them planning on being open through the end of April, including Boreal, Sugar Bowl, North Star. On the south side of the lake, Heavenly and Sierra are planning on staying open through the end of April. And then we've got Squaw Valley and Alpine. They're both planning on staying open through 4th of July. And you know, those that are closing or planning on closing at the end of the month, it's not for lack of snow. It's because a lot of them have seasonal employees and they're losing their employees now. So the snow, you can bet, is going to be around here for a long time. And a lot of people surprised that we're still seeing it come down. Reporting live in the Sierra, Kristen Simoes, KCRA 3 News.
With fresh snow from the latest storm, the Sierra slopes are bound to be a very popular destination this weekend. KCRA 3's Kristen Simoes joins us live now from along Interstate 80 in Placer County. And Kristen, how are the roads looking right now?
The roads are looking great. It's starting to get a little more busy up here. A lot of people, no doubt, heading up to the snow this weekend and through the week, because for a lot of people, this is the beginning of spring break. And, you know, while some people during spring break like the more spring-like weather, if you are someone who likes the snow, this latest storm is just like icing on top of the snowpack. There's even more of it now, and we're seeing tons of people pulling over. A lot of them have had many opportunities to put on their chains this season and are very experienced. We found a crew that are just pulling them out for the first time this year, and it took 4 of them to untangle them, but now they're running away. So you guys are coming up from the Bay Area. This is the first time you've taken out the chains. Tell me how it's going and why you decided to start now.
They told us to pull over, and this woman actually just helped us. She just came up from the car over there to help us. So
oh yeah,
she'll be our savior.
This is Tina. We actually met her earlier. She is an expert chain installer, and now she's giving lessons. And this is just a perfect example of what happens alongside I-80 during a snowstorm when people are forced to pull over and put on chains, and that's what's happening now. We actually talked to a chain installer a little bit ago who said this has been just an epic season for him, but this time of the season right now, he really is seeing a lot more people who know what they're doing, who have had plenty of opportunities to put on their chains this year, and he said that's good news. That, in addition to the fact that people are realizing that they need to slow down, and you know, they've had more opportunities to practice driving in the snow this year. So lots of these people heading up to the ski resorts. And along those lines, a lot of those ski resorts are hoping to stay open later this season. Several of them are planning on staying open at least through the end of April. That includes Boreal, Sugar Bowl, North Star on the south side of the lake. Heavenly and Sierra are all planning on staying open through the end of April. And then there is Squaw Valley and Alpine. Both of them say they'll be open until 4th of July, which I know a lot of people will be excited about. Some of those resorts are saying they're not going to have to close because of lack of snowpack, but rather because a lot of their employees are seasonal employees and they're going to have to head back to wherever they live the rest of the year. So just a really unusual year for what we've seen lately. Other people who've been up here for decades have said, you know, once upon a time we saw winters like this, but regardless, they're just happy to see the snow back. Reporting live in the Sierra, Kristen Simoes, KCRA 3 News.
And with all the snow in the Sierra, it's bound to be a very popular place this weekend. KCRA 3's Kristen Simoes joins us live now from along Interstate 80 in Placer County. And Kristen, are you finding that most people are prepared for these conditions?
You know, most people are, although it's surprising how many people still don't really know how to put on their chains or don't want to. We've had the people who have said, oh yeah, we've had tons of practice this season. And then a lot of others who have said, you know, we've just kind of gotten lucky and have kept the chains in the trunk the whole time. And here they are in April having to put them on. We talked to one guy. This is Manny Baines from Canada. This is his rig here. And he says this weather we're seeing right now, and I can tell you it's kind of coming down, he says this is nothing. How would you describe this snow?
Well, I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and out there, this is like rain for us. We get this kind of weather on a regular basis, 6 to 7 months a year, sometimes 8. And we don't have such laws as in snow chains and this and that and so forth. We do have, however, we do have snow tires, and you have the smaller passenger vehicles with snow tires, but us big rigs, we run these tires all year round, right? Like I spoke to you before, I said in Canada this is how it works. It's either 4x4 snow tires, or it's called a driver mod.
None of these chains, huh?
No, it's a driver mod. The driver's got to know what's going on with his vehicle, the road conditions, and obviously the weather, right? I mean, the rule of thumb is if you see water spitting off your tires, you're good. Once there's no more tire, you're probably dealing with some black ice or some sort of slippery conditions.
So maybe you just pull over then and wait for it to pass.
Pull over, or you bring the speed down and you just take it very cautious, right? Very, very slow, and make sure, you know, if it gets too slippery and dangerous, then of course you want to pull over. That's the best thing to do.
Good advice for drivers out there. And as for you, you didn't expect to have to put chains on today, huh?
Well, the problem was I had 2 chains, and the requirement in California here is 6. So,
Two chains and a lot of tires there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got stuck with buying some chains now, so.
All right, well, good luck to you, Manny.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. So, you know, I have to say, we're finding a lot of characters here on the road this morning, a lot of really fun people who are actually happy to be out here, happy to be seeing the snow. Most of them, unlike Manny, who's working, most of them are heading up to take advantage of the snow at all the resorts, and this for many of them being the start of spring break. So a lot of people in a good mood heading up the hill. Reporting live along I-80, Kristen Simoes, KCRA 3 News.
Great to see so many people taking full advantage. Be sure to download the KCRA 3 News app to track the weather as it's happening in the area. You'll also find the latest on any storm-related issues and traffic problems.